What is up, everyone, and welcome back to our Slab Sox live episode here with Slab Sox Sundays on the PWCC Weekly Auction number 94. Got Aaron here, joined by Julian. Julian, how we feeling, man?
Feeling good. In terms of my sports teams, it's been an okay weekend. Don't get me started about Wisconsin football losing to Indiana. Yeah, the real question is, how are you doing, Aaron?
I'm doing well. I'm doing well. I'm a little asleep and maybe didn't get back home as planned today. Back to Milwaukee, Wisconsin, but we're fine. 5 a.m. flight tomorrow morning coming back. So gotta get up at 2 a.m. I feel like I'm in England right now, where I was like live streaming at 3 a.m. and then waking up at 8. Yeah, so
At
I'll be
least you're
back.
in a little bit of warmer weather right now.
That is true. It is pretty nice weather, and I got to do some work watching football today. So well prepared for this episode, talk about some fun stuff. So I hope everyone is doing well out there. This is once again the episode number 94, in which I still have yet to pick the final giveaway winner on a randomization. So we will see if by episode 100 I can pick the right person on the giveaway. But it has not happened yet. We'll see if it does this episode. So, like always, stick around until the end as we will give something away tonight, and we will see what you all may be able to win, and we'll see if I can pick it right. So, tonight we got a good amount planned for the episode. So, first of all, we actually have quite a bit of things going in the auction tonight. I had a lot of stuff left over, like from the national, from different card shows we were doing, different SGC submissions with soccer cards, and send a bunch of it here to the PWCC Weekly Auction. So, I'm going to run through a couple of things we got going tonight in case anyone finds something they want to add to their collection. I'd also implore you to share with us in the chat right now if there's anything that you would like to see in or us to share that you're selling as well. But I'm going to do that quick. And then later after that, I'm going to be talking about, and Julian can add in his thoughts too, some cards that could have been. And that could be either way. We're talking about maybe a card of a player that was super hyped and then did very bad, poorly, and the cards dropped in value. Or we're talking about cards that in the end, like, I lost my train of thought there, but it's going to be like the reverse.
It could be the flip side, whereas
Yeah.
like their cards could be really bad, but they're right now they performed well.
Yeah, so like what if a player didn't get traded to a team, or what if
Yeah,
Bellingham didn't go to Real Madrid? Exactly. All right. Thank you, Julian, for finishing that one off for
I
me.
got you.
Anyone that's here, feel free to, like I said, throw in any cards you get going tonight, as I would be sure to share those as well. But I just want to highlight maybe one or two of them here. First off, the most expensive card as of right now that's in this auction that we have selling is this Mia Hamm on-card autograph from Panini Nobility. I know there's a lot of U.S. women's national team collectors out there, and this is an on-card autograph, which is pretty rare in pre-2020 soccer. And this is a nice one here at 270, orange out 49. Really like that card. What's up, Nick Neck? How you doing? And then, of course, one of the hottest players in the world. Actually, I would say the hottest player in the card market. Julian, I'm not sure how much you actually looked at some of his sales recently. I cannot believe how much some of the stuff is selling for. Like,
I have. Yeah. I mean, I think I wrote on the newsletter fairly recently, and his stuff is just like spiked so much, and for good reason, because he's a midfielder putting up ridiculous stats for Real Madrid. But I know you and I both had cards that we sold that were like, there's the risk because you get rid of it and might make a little money, but then if this happens, they could have been worth a lot more. But I'm happy for the kid, which he is a kid because he's 20, which is insane. But
yeah, he's even younger than you.
That's just mind blowing when you see like something like that, and you're like, this guy's been playing at the top level for so long, and he's 20.
Yeah. But I mean, I agree with you. Like, this is actually, I think, like, if not like a $10 card, this is like the very last Jude Bellingham that we have. And this is a Hoga Benito orange rookie, very nice card. But right now the thought is sell when it's hot. Like, you never really know what can happen with a player or a team, or if you just stop scoring goals, whatever it might be. So might as well sell when it's hot and hope for the best from there. And then one more thing I just want to share quick. I don't want to spend too much time on this, but do have this Josh Young green refractor autograph from Finance, rookie autograph number out of 99. Just won the World Series. Feel like I got really good timing here. You want to sell the cards. Obviously, when the players are hot. Unfortunately, the Corey Seager I sent in did not get curated in time to sell tonight because I sent it like 2 different batches off. But it will be selling next Sunday. So I want to sell these Ranger cards, of course, right after they win the World Series. There's no point in waiting. I'm sure can buy back Josh Young and Corey Seager for less than like 3 months or something like that. But that's what we got going tonight.
I can't believe his name's Young.
Dude,
I'm still mind boggled about that.
For the longest time, I was saying Josh Jung, which I think is a dope name.
That's what it's like. It just sounds. I don't know.
And his brother's Jace Jung.
Yeah.
And then I watched the World Series, or the playoffs in general, and it's they're saying Josh Young. I'm like, all right, not as cool as Josh Jung, but it looks cool while it's spelled. So, what's up to Real Music? Hope you are doing well, too. So. Keep us posted. If there's anything you have selling tonight that you do want to share, please just let us know. And we will be sure to pull it up at some point during the live. But I want to talk about a few cards that what could have been. Now, like I said, this could be for a multitude of reasons. Like I'm going to show stuff that makes sense. I'm going to show stuff that might make no sense to you, but we're going to talk through and why the card is being pulled up in question. And yeah, Tony has got his Cole Caulfield. I'm going to share this one right now for Tony. Cole Caulfield, SP Authentic, rookie autograph, SGC 10, already at 875. Going on to the next extended bidding window, of course, as we haven't even gotten an extended bidding yet. So it will start in 4 minutes now. But really nice card from Tony. I know he graded that with us. So thank you so much for grading with our SGC service as well. And appreciate you always coming to the Sunday night shows. I'm
going to have to scratch that one from my list later on that I'll talk about because I had that one.
We'll let you give a little bit more shine, and we'll check in on the price later too.
Okay, fine.
All right, so first card about this, what could have been, and it was on the thumbnail. I have to kick it off with the most expensive card. We're talking about Mac Jones. Now, funny enough, Julian, I don't know if you saw this graphic, but Mac Jones and Trevor Lawrence's career stats and wins through the first 18 games or whatever games of their career, it's not 18, it's more than that. It's like super similar. Like I know that, Lawrence is
Mr. Urban Meyer.
Yeah, I mean that is fair. The first year did not go so well. So and Mac Jones did have a pretty decent head start his rookie season. But yeah, so I agree with you. But Mac Jones, similar stats. Obviously, this year's not going so well. This is at $4,700 right now. This is like the FOTL NFL Shield RP, I believe. It's at $4,700. Now, I can just about guarantee you that this card is better than the horizontal NFL Shield patch autograph 1 of 1, as not many people look for the horizontal RPAs of NT. Julian, that card sold for $34,000 August 6th of last year. $34K for the horizontal.
Yeah, I mean, compared to some cards I've seen sell for Mac Jones, like if this was sold like at the right time originally, it's $100,000 card or more, I think.
Well, you remember the Prism Black Finite?
Yes, that's the main one I'm going off of. And just like looking at the number, 4,700 pre-buyers premium, it's just like, yeah. Well, you summed it up well with this little segment is what could have been, because that would have been.
And remember,
hard.
Everyone like coming out of Brady moving to the Buccaneers is talking, is it Brady or is it the Buccaneers that are making Brady or Belichick that's making the Patriots so good? And everyone's saying, oh, it's a system, this and that. Well, in the end, I mean, they have not been that good since Brady's left. Brady's won a Super Bowl in Tampa Bay. Is Mac the answer? I don't know. Everyone has to keep in mind any quarterback that does not show their team this season that they're the long-term future, they are at risk of getting replaced. There are a multitude of good quarterbacks coming out into this next draft in 2024. The teams will get the best value on these players because of how many there are that, just not every single quarterback's going to draft in the first round, so they won't have to spend like a first-round pick on a quarterback. They can wait until second, third, fourth round to get like a very, very good quarterback. So I'm extremely excited to see what happens with that in the draft, but keep in mind that does provide for some interesting situations when it comes to their cards in the market, like Mac Jones, like Kyler Murray, honestly, too, that I know people get some information on tomorrow morning in the Daily Slab. But yeah, that type of stuff is interesting to me. So
here's my question is when I'm seeing this is I feel like for some reason, if like the same card, but for like Bailey Zappi sold, it would be like not that far off, which is kind of funny.
We saw a different one sell for like over $1,000. I don't even think it was the Shield or something like that.
I'm just thinking to myself, I'm like, I feel like I've seen Bailey Zappi cards go for, which I don't understand once again why, but it's just kind of funny.
For real. All right, this next one, Julian, I'm going to let you speak to this more because you more lived through this and I more watched highlights. But Neymar, historic ticket. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, this card sold for this at one point. This is more like, excuse me, think about Neymar. If he's in his prime Barcelona for his entire career, how expensive is this card, Julian? Tell me what you think about this card, from then until now.
It would be a mega card if things had played out how they could have. He was supposed to be like taking over for Messi at some point. He was like the heir to the throne at Barcelona. Obviously, things have went quite downhill from there. He was such a talented player at Barcelona. He was so good in that system. You had him, Suarez, and Messi. And then he decided to leave because he didn't like being in the shadow of Messi and went to PSG, where he ultimately kind of just went in the shadow of Mbappe. So he kind of moved from one team to the other and was still kind of in the shadow. But injuries and some shenanigans on and off the field definitely cost him. But this card would be huge. Everyone loves the Chronicle Contenders autos. Like there's the Messi ones, Ronaldo ones that go for like a decent amount of money. The Ronaldo ones probably less than they were before. But yeah, it's kind of shocking for an auto $400. I understand why, and most people do, just because now he's gone to Saudi Arabia, which has even hurt his card market even more. But yeah, it's one of those could have been as well, because he was so talented and he had everything in front of him. And people are like minimum a few Ballon d'Ors in him when he had left Barcelona, and yeah, not quite there.
Yeah, I mean, again, for those listening on podcasts, this is the historic ticket from Contenders where they took like the images of them when they played for a previous club, and it's so sick.
Yeah, it's such a sweet looking card, and it's in his Barcelona uniform. I think that was 2015 or 2016, but it's so
This
cool.
one's saying 2013-14 he arrived, but this picture, could be from, I guess it's
No,
right.
actually, I think you're right. I think you're right. That might be a little later than I thought, but yeah, he was cold, man. He had so many good highlights from Barcelona, and it's a shame. It's a shame.
What's up to Peg Jung? What's up to Real Music? Real Music says we need Kyler Murray in Atlanta. At least I think that's who K2 is, right? And I think we're number one. But
yeah, no, I think that's. I don't know where that name came from though. Now that I think about it,
yeah,
it's
maybe
definitely Kyler Murray.
Yeah. And what's up to SCP7 and Pokey Oz? Low blow, but says if you never pick the winner of the freebie, then don't pick me, please. Well, hey, honestly, I don't blame you. That's just literally I pick you and you don't win. I mean, it's been proven 93 times over. So let's see what happens tonight. If it's 94, yeah, literally it might never happen. So yeah,
real quick, because on the Kyler Murray thing, I thought of something. Do you think the Vikings should make a play for him?
Well, first of all, Joshua Dobbs off track here. What he did today was insanely impressive, dude. He gets traded midweek. I heard he never even took a snap from the center, never passed a single receiver. He was literally there just in case of emergency, which happened after like the first 2 drives, I think. Dude pops off for like 200 yards, 3 touchdowns, no picks. I saw him learning the snap cadence on the sidelines with the lineman before he went into the game. Like, that's insane. Dude's super smart too. He was a aerospace engineer, I think, in college. Graduated. Jeez. Yeah, no, dude is super, super smart. I think it's rumored he's got photographic memory and stuff like that. But wow, crazy. As for what TB and Canio said, Dobbs is a smart man, very much so. As for Trevor Kyler, I don't think so. Why bring that in? Like all that huge contract. I think any team right now that isn't like a player away from a Super Bowl, like right now, which I don't think the Vikings are. I mean, I'm a Packer fan, obviously, but I don't like see that team and say like, oh yeah, they're Kyler Murray away from a Super Bowl. Any team that isn't like that needs to go draft one of these quarterbacks in this draft and pay them a small contract. Kyler's contract is way too big for a team to take on that isn't about to win a Super Bowl. I don't know. The Giants situation is really weird. They're obviously not training for Kyler with just signing Daniel Jones, but like, so some other team I think could use Kyler. Maybe like the Falcons. That's a fair shout. Like they have a solid defense and the quarterback situation's up in there.
Yeah.
All right, moving on. Next one. So Baker is actually having a decent season. And I don't think that people can really fault him too much, maybe for what's. I mean, they think they lost to like 38-33. CJ Stroud obviously going bananas, 470 yards and 5 touchdowns or whatever. But this is Baker's Browns logo signature gloves. Very cool card, obviously. It would be much more impactful if he did make a Super Bowl with the Browns like they almost did. I really thought that year they were going to make it, and then I think there's Chad Henne ran for the first down of all people.
That was a great play.
I know. But in the end, like, I don't think that there's much shame in Baker Mayfield, like, from where he was maybe 2 years ago. Obviously, the reason why I bring this card up is because when you are the number one pick and you do take your team to the playoffs the first time in a while, like, I just feel like that his, like, potential, like, legacy or what it could have been was run so short, and I don't really think it was his fault. He had he had an injury he was playing through, labrum tear, and he recovered from it now and is playing better. I think the Browns honestly let him go way too early, and they kind of did him dirty and brought in a quarterback who's terrible. Terrible in quotes. Like, Deshaun Watson isn't terrible, like this Rams quarterback that played the Packers today. He's terrible. Like, this guy does not deserve to be traded for 3 draft picks. He doesn't deserve to be given $250 million guaranteed money. And obviously all the off the field stuff is extremely questionable. He's suspended and stuff like that too. So point is I think they did Baker Mayfield dirty. I think that it's what could have been from like he kind of got screwed up. What could have been, I think, a pretty awesome career in Cleveland for how bad they were leading up to that point.
Yeah, and like you said, I don't think people realize just how good of a season he's been having for Tampa Bay. It says he has 12 touchdowns and 4 interceptions. Like, for a team that everybody kind of just threw away at the start of the season because Tom Brady had left, he's had a very solid season, and I totally agree with you that the Browns might have given up on him a little early. And as someone who's had shoulder surgery for a torn labrum, the fact that he played through that is just absurd.
Yeah.
So I'm rooting for him. I'm rooting for him, and he's been proving the doubters wrong. So
I am too. Obviously a Texas fan and like cannot support Oklahoma in any way, but like like Baker's a guy who, even if he is on a team that you hate, like you want to cheer for him. I think I know a lot of people don't like him for specific reasons, but like I've always been just a fan of him from like I feel like that he was, even if he's drafted number 1, many people in the media super underappreciated by him, and he's just always, I thought like fought through a lot to get to where he is. But so I like this card, but in the end, I do have a sale that was in the past, $545 in 2020. In all honesty, this isn't very far off for that card selling in 2020. So it's at $330 right now, pre-buyer's premium. This will probably sell for over $400. Really not that bad. But in the end, like I think it probably could have been like a $1,000 to $2,000 card at some point. So yeah, there we are.
How much do you think that the patch being part of the Browns like logo hurts that card?
I think a little bit, but remember, like it's a rookie, so like to get a logo patch and a rookie card and an autograph on card flawless, not many people are gonna like look at that and squawk on it. And in the end, like he did take, the Browns to the playoffs. Like that's more history than what they had in the last 20 some years. So is the best bright spot for them for sure since then. Now they've got a dog of a defense, and I wish he was there playing with them, but it's Deshaun, unfortunately. And it is crazy, Justin. He was at Texas Tech with Patrick Mahomes, which is wild as well. Those Oklahoma quarterbacks, it's like either one way or another. They're transferring in, transferring out, between Hurts being at Oklahoma at one point, same with Caleb Williams, and then Baker coming in and Kyler Murray there and everything. It's pretty nuts. All right, on to the baseball one here. Juan Soto. Now, Soto, by no means am I sitting here and saying Juan Soto's career is that of Mac Jones's right now. That is not even like what I'm talking about at all. Juan Soto was on the pace after his, I want to say, let's call it, the 4th season with the Nationals. That was his last full season with the Nationals. He was like kind of on pace to becoming one of the very best hitters of all time. If you look at his stats, like he was so young when he debuted, he collected so many home runs, so many hits, so many walks. By the time he was even all of 22 years old, probably. Ends up getting traded mid-season as the Nationals after they won the World Series. They're pretty much blowing it up. Goes to the Padres and has a really tough stretch right when he gets traded to the Padres. This year, he definitely had a bounce back. He had a good season. He had a really 35 home runs, 930 OPS. I'm not talking down on what Juan Soto is at all. But you have to remember this card that we're looking at right now, a 2018 Topps Update Gold out of 2018 PSA 9. Was a 1.5K card at one point for a PSA 9. Now, obviously, that is also in 2021. Car market super hot. Right now, not super hot. In certain ways, obviously. It depends on what I guess you're talking about. But point is here is that like I don't think this card is probably selling for this little if he keeps up that narrative of being like one of the best hitters of all time. And I think that he's kind of fallen off of that ever since that trade to the Padres with that really bad like half season. Last year, played every single game, did pretty well. I'm looking for, and I think that also hurt that the Padres just stunk this year and missed the playoffs. So I think a lot of people just overlooked him because of that. But I'm looking forward to seeing what he does, and hopefully, maybe for other people, they don't want him to do well. But I like Soto, not as much of a Tatis or Machado fan, but I hope he does well next year for sure.
Yeah, I'm definitely not a Machado fan. I think
no, I don't. Yeah,
aren't.
There's a lot of people who aren't Machado fans.
Yeah, I would agree with a lot of what you said, and the big point I'd hammer home is even if you're having a solid season, the fact that your team like is not great and have such a loaded lineup, it's not going to help your cards, even if you're playing like half decent.
100%. Team success really matters. Like individual stats matter, but team success, like a lot of people don't really give you the respect you maybe deserve if your team isn't having success, like Trout in recent years now too. And he's had injuries, obviously, also. All right, next one's a fun one, Julian. I'm going to throw this over to you again. So Lionel Messi, 2004 UK Traditions Football World Stars. Now, my question to you is, I know that like Messi built like an absolute, greatest player of all time through many different things, including playing at Barcelona every single year of his career up until recent years. He's never played in the Premier League. He never will play in the Premier League, like very, very likely. What happens in his career if he goes to the Premier League? Does he build a legacy that like is similar?
Wait, hold on. Did I just cut out there, or was that you?
I might have cut out. I'm not sure.
All right, start over because you froze there for a second.
I missed a ton. All right. Point is that we have Messi's 2006 UK Traditions or 2004, whatever year it is, PSA 10. My question to you is if Messi went to the Premier League and played there for a certain stint of his career, like Ronaldo did when he played with United, is Messi's legacy bigger than it is now or smaller? Did pay him off well beating Ronaldo so many years at Real Madrid? I'm just like curious on him never playing the Premier League, most likely.
I think bigger. His like legendary status is cemented, but it would give him just a little bit more because there are always going to be people who say Ronaldo is better because of his dominance in so many different leagues. I would say if Messi went to the Prem and just like tore it up, which he probably would, his legacy, because then you have like basically no argument as to why Ronaldo was better. I think the main point for Ronaldo is he's just dominated every league he played in, and he played in multiple different leagues. And we saw Messi play in France for a bit, and there was a little stint there he didn't do the best, but you can't debate that he's not the greatest of all time. But I think it would have been put an interesting twist on it because he just, I think, would have still been pretty dominant.
I think so too. I definitely think so too.
And he would have been playing for City, so like that guaranteed that they would have just killed everybody.
Yeah, I mean the crazy thing is like City's rise like would kind of coincide with I feel like how that Barcelona team was starting to change. Like post Suarez and Neymar and stuff like that. It would have been interesting to see him like go into that City team as they started to rise, and like maybe he was bagging 40 goals in a Premier League season. I'm not saying he would have done that, but like that.
Yeah, dude, you put him with Kevin De Bruyne. Oh my goodness, man, that would just be crazy.
Yeah,
I need you to bring back this hair also.
The hair is quite crazy. You too, actually.
Yeah.
All right, next one up. We're going basketball here.
Oh,
I had to do it. I had to bring up the Drew Holiday 2020 Immaculate Premium Patch Autograph numbered out of 5. This card is absolutely fantastic. Now, no one's obviously a stranger to knowing about Drew Holiday nowadays with getting traded to the Boston Celtics after getting traded to the Trailblazers for Lillard, going to the Bucks, obviously. And I gotta say, man, I mean, I knew that there's gonna be like maybe some things that weren't going so well with the Bucks, but we did look a lot better against the Knicks. There was adjustments that were made. We looked way better. The Celtics have been fantastic to start the year, and Drew Holiday almost had a triple-double last game, and I had no doubts he'd play amazing for them. But like, I'm not exactly sure how I'm like fitting this into like what could have been, because like on one side of the coin, like I'm thinking like Bucks win our championship with Drew, and like to get 2 championships in Milwaukee, like he would have played a huge role in that. I feel if we did get to 2 with him, and like he would be like one of the most impactful point guards I think of this like early 2020s. Now on the flip side, he goes to the Celtics, and I think that like maybe this card doesn't sell for as much as it did right after the Bucks won the title, but like I think his cards and definitely his rookie cards are like in the much better situation that he is on the Celtics. Just bigger market, even as a Bucks fan, I'll admit it. Obviously, much more people can buy their cards. But yeah, I don't know. It's just an interesting situation this year, and I hope that the Bucks get it figured out to the point to where like we can compete with the Celtics. Because I thought, at first maybe it'd be like definitely Bucks and Celtics. Now it's a little bit like if we can't guard the freaking Toronto Raptors, who dropped 135, I mean the Celtics will go off for 300.
Yeah, it's gonna take some time to adjust with putting Dame and Giannis together, but it is funny because it's kind of up and down with the Bucks right now. And after that, the first game, I'm like, no one's gonna be able to compete with the Bucks. They're smacking everybody, and then there's like this period where you're like, okay, it's kind of interesting, but without a doubt, it's gonna be between the Bucks and the Celtics. So that'll be a fun matchup if they end up playing in the playoffs.
I think so too. And in the end, I mean, you could already see from a game where they got absolutely pretty much embarrassed by the Raptors until the game against the Knicks. I mean, the entire pretty much defensive scheme of Brook Lopez was changed. So like Adrian Griffin's willing to listen to the players. Not that like a coach shouldn't already know what to do, but like remember, this guy's bringing over philosophies from another team that he's trying to implement. It might just not work with the personnel. So I'm glad that.
Yeah. Tingus Pingus is locking Giannis down. What's up, Hank?
Have you ever seen that pull of the Zion black fast break 1 of 1 from Select where the kid pulls it and he like barely says anything? He flips over. He's like, wow, 1 of 1. And he goes, what's up, Mario? Have you ever seen that?
No.
What? You've never seen the What's Up Mario video?
I don't think so.
That's exactly what that reminded me of. You're like saying, Tingus Pingus go lock door. Like, what's up, Hank?
That's my Hank's. It was like Hank's comment.
This kid, dude, I'm telling you, like this kid pulled like at the time 50 grand Zion and barely reacted.
What a savage!
No, I know it's hilarious. It's awesome. Such a good video. I'm sure some of you out there have seen it. All right, next one up. Let's throw this one out there. Conor McGregor, 2021 Prism UFC. This is the it's called, what is this? Lucky Envelopes. It's like an X Factor, basically, numbered out 8 PSA 9. Julian, you paid way more attention to UFC throughout the years than me and just fighting in general. I've definitely paid attention, but like how much Conor McGregor was like, that's a loud siren.
I don't know what's going on outside. Bro, there must be like a police chase or something. But
okay. Conor McGregor probably was peak UFC, right? Like at the peak, probably the best fighter. I mean, I know people will say like Khabib and stuff, but him knocking out people in like 8 seconds was unlike other stuff. You think that this card people see in the market with the Prism craze is like a huge card throughout the entire market? Because I don't think that people look at it this way anymore. He's had lost fights, broken legs, talks too much when maybe he shouldn't at times.
Yeah.
Describe it.
I would say without a doubt, he kind of made the UFC what it was. He was so flashy and hilarious, and he was able to back up everything he said with his fights. But since the past couple of years, he's done a lot more talking than backing up what he's been saying. And the fights that he has had, he's lost. Like the one against Dustin Poirier, where he broke his leg and then was still talking smack while he was like on the mat. It was just so funny. But this card would be like, if he had kept up his dominance and like would have been potentially better than Khabib, like if he had kept performing and had beaten the likes of Khabib, I can't even imagine how much this card would be going for. But he's synonymous with like the UFC in its prime. He just brought so many eyes to the UFC, and I still watch clips of him like at press conferences from like 2015, 2016, which is so funny.
Yeah, there's a lot of memes that come out of that, right?
Yeah.
Peg Jung says GSP and Anderson Silva online 1. They're ready to talk to you, Julian.
No, yeah. I mean, by no means am I like a UFC expert. I've just seen like a few of the bigger fights and like the history. But yeah, you can't I don't think you can say Conor McGregor is like the GOAT just because of how his career's played out.
Yeah. by no means am I trying to say. I'm saying like
Yeah. Just hypothetically, like what could have been following the line of this whole thing is if he had kept up his dominance, this would have been a massive card, and he definitely would have thrown his hat in the ring for one of the best of all time.
And by no means is this not still a big card. I mean, that's at one point over $2,500 after a release. Now it's way too much money. It's not going to sell for that now. UFC cards were really hyped when they released with the Prism line. But still, point remains. One of the only pay-per-view fights I ever paid for was the McGregor and Poirier one where he broke his leg. Yeah, I just couldn't believe it. I was watching, he steps backwards, and that thing just splits. Is like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, that's why I'm way more into boxing than I am UFC, because like in UFC there's stuff where I'm like, I can't watch this. Like that's just ugh. But
yeah,
it was just hilarious because Connor was like, I'm not even gonna try doing his accent, but he was like, your kick didn't do anything. Like it wasn't your kick. I'm like, dude, he kicked you and your leg snapped. Like it was 100% his kicks.
He was talking about the leg checks, right, or whatever.
Yeah,
like,
leg checks. There you go. Yeah.
He's saying like he stepped awkwardly. It's like, dude, he definitely. He could barely even stand by the end of like.
Yeah, and he's like, your wife. He's like chirping his wife. I'm like, dude, you just lost.
While laying on the ground with a broken leg.
Joe Rogan comes over with his mic. He's like laying on the ground.
As they're like putting his leg into like a boot cast to like get him off, is so funny.
One of a kind.
All right, next one here. This one's kind of pain. I'm not gonna lie. It's actually a ton of money, more than I expected, to be honest. This is the Ryan Braun Blue Refractor first Bowman autograph, numbered 150, BGS 10, mind you, from 2005. Now Ryan Braun was very much so on track for a Hall of Fame career. Won an MVP in 2011. Was definitely on track to become, statistically, I'm not going to argue with people who, Robin Yount is the kid, as my dad says, or obviously 19-year-old debut or 18-year-old debut, whatever it was, brought the Brewers a World Series. But statistically, Braun was, kind of on track to become the best Brewer of all time. And then steroids happens in 2012, or 13, 12, whenever they announced it. And here we are. We're talking about a card that is potentially, multi-$1,000, sitting at 330. Now, like I said, I'm kind of shocked it's this much, honestly. I was expecting this to go for maybe like $100, and like I was thinking of maybe trying to pick this thing up, but it's at 330. And there was a BGS 9.5 that sold back in 2012 for 530. Now, that's back in 2012. Like, this card should not be $330 based on how his career was going, but like, this is definitely a card that would have been multi-thousands of dollars at this point, had the steroid ordeal not happen. Now, you also can ask yourself, does he win the MVP if steroids doesn't happen? Does he stay healthy for some of those years if steroids doesn't happen? So, like, there's a lot of what ifs in that situation. I'm not going to try to defend any of that. In the end, like, I think that a lot of Brewers fans, like, don't hate the guy. I think a lot of other teams fans, like the Cubs, hate the guy and stuff like that. But he provides some of the best memories for Brewers fans until Christian Yelich came along. And you can't replace some of those moments like in 2008 and stuff like that. So I think that's why it does sell for this, even if the steroids thing is obviously plaguing this card massively from a value standpoint. Which is interesting because anyone out there in the chat, let me know. Nelson Cruz, I'm pretty sure he was in the exact same finding, the exact same study, the exact same positive test, or like where they had that whole anabolic steroid thing going down in Florida or whatever like that. I'm pretty sure Cruz was part of all of that. The only reason why I think it's not talked about as much is because he didn't win an MVP like right before all that news came out. But yeah. I could be wrong. The reason why I bring up Nelson Cruz is because he just announced his retirement like 3 days ago or something like that. And like all I saw was like MLB's Twitter accounts and Instagram accounts like applauding his 19-year career and stuff like that, which is great. But like they kind of, I figure, are picking and choosing who they're like kind of shunning for the steroid thing. But you tell me, I can't remember enough to know if he was part of that in the same capacity as Ryan Braun.
Yeah, and there's the factor where it's like those were the guys that were caught. Like I'm pretty sure it was like a widely accepted thing.
Yeah, and that's the other thing too. The other thing is like I'm not like in the MLB obviously, but like I'd be hard pressed to believe that there's like not quite a few people that were not caught during this ordeal and that just kind of like skirted under the radar and have no tarnishing of their legacy, but maybe did nothing different than what Braun did or Cruz or whoever else, which is interesting to think about. All right, we only have time for maybe like one more of these, and then I'm gonna let Julian talk about a couple cool cards that he was saw in this auction. But I gotta let you go on about this, Julian. I can't not bring up this card, especially with how much it sold it for at one point. Oh, not that one. Not that one again. That one.
Oh my gosh,
Dude.
I didn't know this was coming.
Dude. Jadon Sancho, 2018 Topps Chrome. Blue Wave, 70 number out of 75, PSA 10s at $70. This card sold in 2021 for $2,800.
Hurt.
I think it's the worst one on the list, honestly.
There were a few Jadon Sancho cards in this auction, I feel like.
There was.
It's just my club is a mess. He's never gonna wear a Manchester United uniform again. We don't know where he's gonna go. I heard rumors that Borussia Dortmund kind of wants to bring him back, but I don't know how the whole financials would play into that. But
I mean, he was signed for what, 90 million pounds?
No, we don't have to get in the numbers, but so let's round down. We'll say 40. And yeah, his cards were so hot. Even when he joined Manchester United, he was going to be the next young Englishman. Kind of like, I think, what Jude Bellingham has become. That was kind of like the hope for him to be like the face of England soccer and keep this historic pace and bring it to Manchester United. But it has been underwhelming to say the least, and a failed stint for sure. So we're just going to have to see where he ends up, because I think he's practiced, like he's been shunned by the entire organization. So he's like practicing with like either the youth or just by himself. It's a shame, because I did like Jadon Sancho a lot, and he showed a lot of promise, and I know he had a lot of hardship at the club because he was going through some stuff, but he deserves the best. It's just not going to work out between the two sides. So I hope he goes somewhere and gets back to his best form, because didn't come through at Manchester United at all.
I mean, I loved this guy, honestly. I had so many cards of him, and I thought that he was the truth at Dortmund, dude. He had nearly like was 20 goals and 15 assists in a season or something like that at like 19 or 8. It's something crazy. He was absolutely balling. But yeah, man, it has not went to as planned in the slightest.
And that's partially on Manchester United, if we're just being honest, because there's these players that some of them do really well when they come in, and then some of them, like another one's Donny Van de Beek, like another promising talent. I mean, he just kind of just destroyed his career.
Yes. I'm not 100% sure about Antony was ever going to be worth 100 million.
No. Antony was a terrible signing.
Yeah, like I actually like was pretty jealous when you guys signed Jadon Sancho, honestly. Like I thought that was a great
you didn't want Antony for 100 mil?
No, not at all. All right, Julie, I'm gonna let you get on with your segment here, because we are running up on the extended bidding window. Everyone, 3 minutes left, so make sure you get those bids in on cards you might want, as they will end if they do not have a bid in the next 2.5 minutes. So, Julian, take it away. Let me know what the first card is that you want to bring up.
The first one is a little bit more expensive than I usually would talk about, but there's an Erling Haaland 2019 Chrome Auto PSA 10, and I want to bring this up because
not who we buying tonight, by the way.
No. Just to be clear, they're not doing who we buy. I'm thinking good buys, things that caught my eye, that type of stuff. But Erling Haaland, I have so much respect for him, even though he's a Manchester City fan, which pains me every time I see him do like the impossible and do crazy. Robbed of the ball in Dior, for sure, without a doubt. Somehow he's still getting disrespected because he's not. They're like, oh, he's not having a crazy season. He's got 11 goals in 11 games and like 2 assists. Like maybe it's not the exact pace he was at last year, but he's good.
Mean, he's not on the same pace, but in the end, like he is on pace to still score 36.
It's crazy. It's crazy. He's without a doubt going to be the next guy. It's going to be between him and Kylian Mbappe, and I'm by no means a Kylian Mbappe fan, so Haaland could very easily just take over and dominate for many years to come. This card, the last time a PSA 10 sold was August 7th, went for $12,350. So obviously, even if the card market has dropped some since then, but I just think that this, like, if you have the money, I would potentially buy something like this. A PSA 9, October 21st, went for 3.3. So I just think it's an interesting card. His autos are pretty rare. He's the player I'd buy and stash for sure.
That card is definitely rare. Like that is not an easy card to pull at all.
Yeah, and he's so good. It's just I don't see him slowing down anytime soon. One of my favorite parts of his game is he doesn't flop, which is very hard to come by in the current age of soccer. But yeah, I would say his cards are one that I would potentially be eyeing to buy and save because Messi might have gotten away with this Ballon d'Or, but there's no way he's going to be in contention for one with his entire season in the MLS.
He might have gone away. Like that's what he said. It's funny. It made me think of like Scooby Doo or something like that.
He did, like the Scooby Doo animated shows.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Next up, what should we do? I'll do this. There's the Stan Lee 2004.
I'm so happy you picked that. I'm
bro,
so happy
this
you picked
card
that.
is nasty.
It's one of my favorite cards I've seen in this auction.
So nasty, and as a big Marvel fan myself, I just think it's so sick. It's got the inscription. What does it say? Ramblin' Stan or Smilin' Stan? Smilin' Stan. Big Marvel fan myself. I mean, the card itself looks great, and Stanley's such a legend that I just think this card would be such a cool one to have.
I think so too. You see a lot of autos, I feel like, of him like on like random cards, like maybe like Marvel cards and stuff like that, but like there's not many where it's like an actual, pack pulled auto, I feel, unless I could be completely wrong on that. But pretty cool. And fans of the game like MLB card, actually, World Series 2004, it says in the bottom left.
Yeah, definitely a cool one. I have one more that I'll talk about, and then there's one that I want to ask you about in the chat we can talk about because I've never seen it before. But I'll go to my last one. We can go to the Cole Caulfield, which is one I had saved as a Wisconsin fan, and he I think he had an injury bout last year, and he's off to a pretty good start this season. So I'm a Wisconsin guy. I think I have a Keandre Miller card as well that I've slowly gotten a little bit into the hockey scene. And funny enough, and I don't even know if you heard about this, but I was at I was working the men's hockey game yesterday. I don't know if you heard about this, but so basically our hockey team is like insane this year,
Yeah.
which is surprising. But they swept Michigan, and at the game that I was at yesterday, they scored with 6 seconds left to win.
I actually saw the highlight. One of my roommates from college is a pretty big hockey fan, and he's been watching it all this year with how good we've been, which is, like you said, shocking. We were like awful.
We were terrible.
Like we used to be pretty solid, but we were really bad the last couple of years, I know. Yeah. So quite a turnaround, and he wants the coach to already have a statue built. He came from Minnesota State, and yeah, I saw it. We scored, 6 seconds left. It was crazy,
electric. I have never experienced anything like that. Like it was one of those where there was a shot and the puck was like the keeper didn't have it, and so like one of our guys like hit it in, so everybody didn't like really know what was going on, and then all of a sudden it was in the back of the net. And oh my gosh, I'm sure we would have like registered on the Richter scale, I think is for earthquakes.
Yeah.
But
I love how you just called him the keeper.
So I was thinking the goalie, I said this yesterday too at the game too. I was like, if it's tied, does it go to penalty kicks? I said that and I'm like, bro, that's so bad.
No, you didn't.
That's so bad.
It's the tender, bro, the goaltender. Yeah, but in the end, I mean, awesome cardio of Cole. Him and Keandre Miller for me, like those are the guys. Like if you live in Wisconsin and you don't have an NHL team to root for, like I just feel like you gotta follow the college talent that comes out of Wisconsin, Madison. I've got a lot of Keandre cards. I had a few Cole cards in my time. I'm not sure how many I have left, but awesome card here that I know is Tony's. It's at 950 right now, so hopefully that thing keeps on going for you. But wonderful card indeed.
Okay, so then the last card I'll bring up that I highlighted because I thought it was pretty interesting. I've never seen it before. Was this 2013 LeBron James?
Oh, you saw that one too?
Okay, so he's like in a football uniform. And I'm like, this is kind of sick. This is kind of cool. I've never seen it before. I don't know if there's like a backstory behind it, but I thought I'd bring it up and get some Aaron wisdom on this card, and then hear it if anybody else has anything to say in the chat or what they think about it.
All right, so this is my thoughts on this. Now, there might be some facts out there that I just don't know about, but my thoughts is that this is around the time, like, as Upper Deck started to lose their NBA licenses and they couldn't make any more LeBron card autos and stuff like that. In NBA gear, they were still making like some of his high school jerseys and stuff like that. And I think they're just looking at as many different ways as possible to make cool LeBron cards. And of course, LeBron has a lot of football ties, given that he was like a baller in high school. And I know he's talked about wanting to play or wanting to have played. Obviously, he didn't turn into one of the best NBA players of all time. So I think they're just making it as almost like a, paying homage to his football time. And I know it says Saints or Irish, on the jersey, which I think is for his, St. Vincent St. Mary. Pretty sick card, honestly. And I remember seeing these back when they came out. Not sure if anyone else has ever seen them or has one of them, but pretty awesome card.
Yeah, and I don't know how close this was in relation to the lockout, because I know there was that whole story where like a bunch of the guys were just like would go to the field and start playing football, and then apparently like allegedly the Cowboys like offered him a contract and he was like framed it in his office. I don't know if it's actually true. Like Jerry Jones like interested. So I mean, I wonder like if that's like was an inspiration for this card, or like when the lockout was. It might be way off the mark, but
lockout was actually, this might have been right around the same time. I think I was almost in like it's 2011, so a little bit after that.
Okay.
So I'm pretty sure it's in like 7th, 8th grade. Just sold for 2,000, it looks like. So pretty sweet one indeed. I already got some giveaways, so no one worry about that tonight. We at least have got 2 giveaways. If I win this third one, which I'm not going to show you yet, we'll reveal it at the end. We will indeed have 3 giveaways tonight, which would be, I think, the most we've had, at least in quite some time. So yeah, I appreciate everyone coming to tonight's show. My computer isn't getting too hot, and let's look at some great cards I think tonight. As they do, I know we didn't talk a lot about what could have been cards, but we're about to look at a lot of cards that are really sick and cards that are cool right now for sure. Nick next says it's going to be a PC buying night tonight. LOL. That is for sure. I'm going to maybe save my pennies on the PC front tonight. As last week I got this sweet Yelich card, and this week I am eyeing up, or next week I'm eyeing up some other Yelich cards that actually hit the auction. This week there's like an 5 diamond icons, but not crazy about the diamond icons, just in my personal opinion.
Okay, real quick. At the top, there's that Holland Finest. I don't know what everybody's take on this, but this is kind of absurd that this is that much in the auto. The auto just sold for 4.6. I know he's in his Salzburg uniform, but I'd so much rather have a PSA 10 auto.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna have to like agree with you on the auto front. People are obsessed with, I think, like first types of cards of people, obviously, and that one fits the bill. In the end, like I think that maybe it has to do with, the Champions League being a third release, comes after the Bundesliga, so the Bundesliga autos are a little bit better. But I think that those Champions League autographs, if I'm not mistaken, are like quite a bit more rare than the Bundesliga refractor autograph. It could be a little off on that, but at least that's what I've remembered.
Knick-Knack won WWE dual auto of Becky Lynch and Sasha Banks. Not
Cool.
completely sure who those are, but I'm sure they're legends. And then Matt Chapman 2020 Topps Dynasty out of 10.
Always love me some Topps Dynasty. If you're winning Topps Dynasty, you're cool in my book. That's for sure. All right. Crazy enough, this card right here. This is one of the best, in my opinion, super short prints that Topps ever made for flagship. I just think this card image is so cool. I don't know why. The white jersey, it's just like a perfect image, honestly, of Ronald Acuna Jr. They had obviously like a couple different variations of like his update based rookie versus the bat down versus the yada yada yada, whatever. This one, in my opinion, stands out from the rest. It's a super short print white jersey with bat. It's a $4,000 right now. I remember when this card was super expensive back in like 2019 before the massive card boom. I found this card in this auction was at like $20, which I was like, is this going overlooked? No, not overlooked. It's at $4,000 now. I was just early to the party, I guess, finding it, but very cool on there. And I got to give a shout out for this hockey card here. It's a 1/1 Alexander Ovechkin, UD found, or the Cup Foundations, quad patch with some tag action. It looks like 1/1 on card autograph. The Cup is one of those sets that I just feel like every single year, like I know NT releases for football and it's very hyped, but like when it comes to the hockey card market, I know when the Cup releases, like the hockey people are jazzed, like they're fired up to get those cards.
Our boy Greg, he's jazzed.
Our boy Greg is jazzed. Yeah. So I know that the Cup is still pending, I think, for the Cole Caulfield release, which is obviously like,
okay. I was going to ask, Is that the one that was mentioned where it's like still hasn't released 2021?
Yes, that's what we were talking about, I think 2 weeks ago, is that they're between 3 release schedules now. I think the very first set of 2023 released, and they still have yet to release the 2021 the Cup. And then obviously that means that 2022 the Cup still hasn't came out. So the 2022 SP Authentic just came out, as you know, as you wrote the headline. But yeah, they are definitely like in a rock and a hard place on the release schedule right now. That's for sure. Quite a bit of stuff has been ending of ours. We got the Jude Bellingham one for, it looks like 208 post buyers premium, which is, or no, 242 post buyers premium. 208 was the seller net, but very happy with that. I mean, I think I spent like 90 on that raw, so pretty nice. This one here, I actually got this as a raw card on the PWCC Weekly, and then got it graded and ended up at 120. Now I think that's just about maybe what, after grading fees, or a little bit more in profit maybe than what was paid, but yeah, pretty nice one there.
The real question is, how did Jared do? And for everybody, Aaron's roommate, from advice for Aaron, he bought a Jude Bellingham card, and I mean, Jared's a legend. Shout out Jared, but they decided to go ahead and sell it now, and let's just say it was a good time to sell.
I told him to throw it on auction. I said, hey, you paid crazy. You paid like $200 for us a couple years ago. Remember, a lot of people, even including myself, I'm not even saying there's a lot of people, including myself, bought cards 2 years ago. They're not worth close to what they are now. But this is a card buy 2 years ago for $200 and end up a $504 sale at the end of the day. So congrats to Jared. I know that's his biggest dinner. That's his biggest card. So yeah, and Julian wants some steak dinner on Jared, I think. This is what you love to see. Tony says the Caulfield auction ended. Very, very happy. Well, Tony, we are happy for you and appreciate you being here. And like I said, grading with us once again. Nick Knack did not lie. Okay. Nick Knack said it's a PC buy-in night. What is this? The 5th win that just got thrown in the chat. Immaculate Collection, Iron Sheik Auto, RIP. You got the George Springer Dynasty, Jays patch autograph out of 5, and Kevin Gosman orange first autograph number out of 25. So Nick Knack going hard.
Playing. He ain't playing.
He ain't playing. Ain't playing at all.
Okay. Also, that Mac Jones has more than doubled.
It has more than doubled. Honestly, I'm surprised. I thought I was going to go for under 10K. Someone clearly still wants to take the risk on Mac. And I'm not saying that they're going to pass up on using him as their long-term option, but I'm not confident enough to pay anywhere close to 10 grand for that. He had a good game last week, and the week before that, or at least decent. This week, I mean, 55% completion, 220, a touchdown, interception. I don't really know how the Patriots roll into another year with him as like the only option, right? Like he's got 10 touchdowns, 9 interceptions.
Baby Zappy, baby.
Oh my gosh, do you know people are going to be throwing that name out there in the offseason? Huge Jackson Holiday card sold. I know that Wander Franco was super hype prospect. Vladimir Guerrero Jr., like 80 hit tool, which is the top. 80 is the top tool, like grade you can get. Jackson Holiday, like from just watching where he was drafted he's drafted a year ago, but not even like a full, just about now 1 full season of minor league baseball. That's what I'm trying to say. Going up to AAA already is just insane. And not only going up to AAA, like hitting like 350 in AAA. So he's amazing. I would be hard pressed to believe he won't be up at least by maybe halfway through next season. We'll see what happens. But my goodness, he's so good, and it shows. I mean, you're talking $12,000 for the PSA 10 Bowman Chrome Gold autograph. Julian, do we have a guess at maybe like what the last Bryce Harper sold for? Not the PSA 10 would do more than this, but it would be just 9.5 sale.
Just 9.5, I'd say $3,000.
Well, no, 15K. But remember, Bryce Harper's had one of the single best careers over the span of him being in the major leagues. Like I know Mike Trout had that amazing peak, like War Machine, stuff like that. But like Bryce Harper, between postseason and regular season success, 306 home runs, 912 OPS. He's only 31 still, which is crazy to say. It's just wild. That's how big of a prospect Jackson Holiday is for real. The Patriots have to be one of the most confusing teams I've ever seen in terms of what they do with the quarterback position. They've sent their backup, either Zappy or Malik Cunningham, to a practice squad like 3 times this year, I think.
Yeah, and not only like sent him to the practice squad, they're like, he's been cut. Like they it's not like they just demoted him. It's like there's like Malik Cunningham might take over, and then it's like Malik Cunningham has been cut.
I know. That is not a place you want to be if you're spending money on sports cards. Is playing between maybe that player gets a start or maybe they end up getting cut. And I think that you're looking at any week with like that. I mean, that Mac Jones probably is going to get cut, but like other players is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So pretty wild. All right. We are 1 minute away from the next window or this current window ending. There are some big Pokemon cards ending, or at least there generally is, but Latias, EX Deoxys, PSA 10 Gold Star. Those Gold Stars I know sell for a wild amount of money. 32 grand.
Pocket change.
I think it's so wild that you can like look at something like this and like I know what Pokemon this is and stuff, and I've collected some of the cards and I've played some of the games, but like in general, this card really doesn't mean a whole lot to you or me. But then you got 32 grand next to it. It's wild. I mean, that just really goes to show how many different collectors are out there to be able to, drive sales like that. Obviously, like, people are adding to their collection and everything. It's just crazy.
Yeah, and I know like the bigger Pokemon. I've never heard of that one.
Yeah.
Oh.
I think it's like Latias and Latios. So there's like 2 legendary Pokemon from a specific game or something. I don't really know for sure.
And the boy Charizard, I'll tell you that.
No. Hector says, crazy how a baseball card numbered out 50 goes for so much compared to other sports numbered out 50. That's definitely a Panini and Topps thing, like more than like a sport by sport thing. Like if Topps did make Topps Chrome Gold Refractor autographs at 50 for football like they used to, those cards would be massive. Panini, what Panini has liked to do over the last 12 years is take all of their parallels and switch them every single year for the last 12 years straight. Now, they do obviously have the golds out of 10 that have stuck, which is why those are so valuable. Not only are they out of 10 only, but, it's been a legacy parallel. For Topps, the gold out of 50 has just about stuck in every single release. I mean, maybe there's some instances where it changed for some reason, but, in a world where parallels have changed so much, that is something that people can rely on year after year after year. So I'd say that's why. And it bleeds through into soccer, and it's 12 grand on this. I mean, this just about matches last week's BGS 10, Julian.
Yeah.
I think it's crazy that you can get like a flawless Messi autograph or probably pretty close. I'd have to look for sure, but
yeah, no. I don't know. It's a lot of money.
I mean, there's plenty of Holland options. I love Holland, but like, holy smokes, that's a lot.
Yeah.
Speak about a lot of money. I meant to bring this one up earlier. This is the Draw and Love, and this is the NTRPA number of 99, and this is the only PSA 10, or at least maybe only PSA 10 with a 10 autograph is what I assume that this population means. To be fair, a lot of his autographs in these cards are pretty streaky, so it's a little bit more meaningful having a 10 autograph on this versus others. But man, I mean, he actually did okay today. I still think that the Packers literally are wheeling out like just the worst receiving core in the NFL. And I watched Adonai Mitchell and Xavier Worthy play this past Saturday. And I think both of them would instantly be the 1 and 2 in Green Bay. Honestly, that's how bad it is. But
what about your boy Christian Watson?
Dude, we talked about this the last 2 weeks, Julian. The guy finally makes a down the field catch. Okay, he makes a down the field catch. He rises up and gets. It's a little underthrown, to be fair. And he falls down and he's hurt again. And a tweet comes out that says Christian Watson reportedly has hurt his chest back and also says that he might have a concussion. Okay, it's not funny if someone has a concussion. I'm not saying it's
no.
But just the fact that like he makes one good catch his entire season and he's just like, it reminds me of the guy from SpongeBob during the chocolate episode who's like faking his injured. That's like, I wake up every morning and I break my legs, and like it's just like what I think Christian Watson is at this point.
Yeah, it sounds like something that's not real. Like everything's injured.
Exactly. Like when you see a tweet like that, it's just like, what the heck? So yeah, no. I mean, Romeo Dobson, okay game today and stuff. And Luke Musgrave scores first career touchdown. And I think that he's gonna be a really good tight end for us, actually. But when you roll out the youngest roster in the NFL with that first year starting quarterback, I mean, what are you expecting? Like, So
You're the youngest?
yeah, youngest average roster in the NFL.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and definitely the youngest receiving core, I'm sure.
Yeah.
No, we did win today, but we were also remember not playing Matthew Stafford. they were so bad in offense.
Bro, why aren't they? Oh, because Stetson's injured, right?
Stetson is not injured. He's like gone from the team for private matters that are not
Oh,
said.
really?
He's been gone for a while, actually. So I don't think that it's something that is good, to say the least.
Yeah.
It,
I
it's
wanted to see him play.
I was gonna say it's a bummer. I mean, hopefully whatever is going on with him is okay and everything like that. But like, it is a bummer because I do think like coming off of back-to-back Georgia national championship games, like they very clearly drafted Stetson Bennett to be like a Matthew Stafford emergency backup. Like I don't think they're drafting Stetson Bennett to say like we've got our quarterback for the next decade. But like Stafford was hurt last year and he got hurt again this year with a thumb injury, and it would have been fun to see him play exactly why they drafted him. So I thought it was a good move, but yeah. So and speaking of the other guy that used to be there, Jared Goff, here's his Optic Contenders 1-of-1 ticket. Not even a rookie. Here's at like 500 plus. That means you're having a good season. A non-premium set 1-of-1, not rookie. So for $500, you're doing well.
Yeah.
Okie dokie. Looks like that we've just about everything go except for Gunnar Henderson that's still alive right now. I'm waiting for a car to make it to that 1 minute windows again. Gunnar Henderson Youthquake is still going. Here's our Messi. It just went 372. I gotta say, you gotta take the good with the bad. So I would be a bum if I ain't talk about the times that stuff doesn't work out. This card right here was part of a trade at the National. Little to say that trade was probably one of the worst deals I ever made in the last like 6 months. Not to say I've made like all amazing deals by any means, but I traded away a Jude Bellingham Glimpses of Gold 2020 Stadium Club red refractor rookie number out of 10 PSA 10 and a gold of the exact same card also in the PSA 10, which is definitely like 1.5K plus right now. So little to say this is probably like a net minus $1,000 deal. Like I lose like $1,000. So I wasn't into the Judes for that high because I got them before the season started. But like in the end, up until today, yeah, just not a great move. Cool card, but in the good news, at least the collector that got them is a big Jude Bellingham fan, or at least I was told. Now he's probably
I had no Jude left in my collection.
I'm just messing. Yeah, yeah, right. There's a super cool Quinn Ewers card in this auction that I don't know where it is now. I don't know how you feel about these cards. I'm not like, wait, I don't even.
Prism. I didn't see a Quinn Ewers card.
Did they spell this? Actually, no, it wasn't this auction. I take it back. It wasn't this auction. There was a national White Sparkle last week. I'm thinking about a different one. Like a national one of what I saw. Julian, hot take time. You said that Andrew Garfield's the best
Spider-Man.
Best Spider-Man.
Not even close.
Miles Morales, best Spider-Man.
No, I mean in terms of like
I know the human ones.
Best portrayed Spider-Man, and I'm talking about like Peter Parker. Miles Morales is not Peter Parker.
Give me the breakdown on why you think that.
He's just the most like comic accurate. He played a Peter that was like super smart, like kind of socially awkward, which was like very comic book accurate. And then he just like had the humor as a Spider-Man. He like kind of like moved around like a spider. Like there's multiple clips from the first movie where he was just like crawling and just all aspects of it. I feel like combined, he's just the best Peter Parker. He was smart and everything I mentioned, but yeah. I'm very sad that he didn't get to get his third movie. And yeah, I just
why was that?
It was when Sony's rights, I think it was Sony's rights reverted to Marvel.
Yeah.
So then they were like, oh, let's start fresh and get Tom Holland.
Yeah.
So it's it's all political why stuff like that doesn't happen.
Which is weird because now like the Into the Spider-Verse movies or the Spider-Verse series is like Sony Animations and stuff like that. So
like it went from like Sony went to Marvel and then went away from Marvel. So that's why for Tom Holland, they were like, they had to come to an agreement with Marvel for like that most recent film.
Yeah, that's right. They were at risk of not even having that, right?
Yeah. It was going to be, so that's why it's trending in the direction. I think that's why, actually, I don't want to spoil any movies, but I think they're trending towards making Tom Holland like kind of like a newer landscape and like its own like separate entity. But yeah, Andrew Garfield's a goat, and he's a great actor just in general.
He is. I mean, Hacksaw Ridge. I'm not sure if you saw that.
That's the military one, right?
Yeah, where he plays like the unarmed. He's like a medic. Yeah, that's a pretty cool, pretty great movie. No, I think that he's really good. I think he's awesome in Social Network. I think that he always portrays the characters very well. I honestly just have not seen the Amazing Spider-Man movies frequent or even recently / frequently.
You've seen them.
No, I've seen I saw the first one in theaters.
Okay.
I couldn't even really tell you if I've seen the second one though. I was really young. Well, not as young as you, but younger when they came out.
Yeah.
I recently rewatched the first Spider-Man with Tobey, and then I pretty sure I watched the second. I didn't even bother with the third because kind of the third was kind of weak. I don't know if you have any thoughts on that.
The third like Tobey movie.
Yeah,
it was it was interesting. Definitely not as good as the first two, but yeah, I'm just a big Spider-Man Andrew Garfield fan, and the second movie that they made, the writing wasn't the best, but I still thought he was just great as Spider-Man.
right.
Very, very sad ending.
So I've heard. I need to reset some of these. I realized that I had the years only on after 2002. I'm like, why is there so few cards left? I was like, there's not even
before.
Yeah, it's not even the 1 minute windows yet. All right, I'll give the reveal right now. How about this for the giveaways? I'm not sure. I think we might have ended up with 3. We did end up with 3. All right, so that last one we won, which was this one. This card is sick. This is a quad patch for those baseball fans back in the early 2000s and such. Josh Beckett, Tim Lincecum, Justin Verlander, and Roy Halladay, R.I.P. Roy Halladay, all in one card, number 40 out of 400. It's a quad jersey from 2009 Upper Deck Ballpark. So we're going to give away that. Also going to give away this. I love me some Gilded Collection. Josiah Gray is now on the Reds, I want to say. No, he is on the Nationals. Just kidding. I don't know why I said Reds. I guess red jersey. He was in the Dodgers at one point. He was actually an All-Star this past season. Starting pitcher All-Star. Did not know he was an All-Star, actually. Knew he had a good season. But rookie number 50, Mini Gold Diamond. So that's going to be up for giveaway as well. And I had to mix in an NBA. Of course, Luka has just been unbelievable to start the year. So we've got some Luka Doncic NBA City Blue Refractor or Blue Prism Color Match PSA 9 going as well. So 3 giveaways tonight. Plenty of odds.
That kind of looks, at first glance, it kind of looked like it said NBA O City.
NBA O City. Looks like SCP got a win. Julian, want to read that one off?
Picked up 2021 Metal Universe 98 Retro Purple Spectrum Jersey Swayman out of 199.
Nice.
Oh.
Cool. Looks like Gunnar is still alive.
Well, I'd hope so.
Gunnar is still alive, for everyone wondering. Justin says Luka GOAT.
Luka is the GOAT. He's just, he pulls off. It's more shocking with Jokic just because of like his frame, but like both of them are just pulling off shots that I'm just like, that's like a playing pig type of shot.
Right. Color me perplexed on this one. Like I said, I know that this is a Pop 1 Blue Refractor autograph. Whatever. I'm just shocked that this is over $400 and one of the last cards remaining in the night. The Ryan Braun.
Those BGS 10s.
You never know. Sometimes they just go crazy. Tom said, I grabbed the PS9 Finest Rose Gold from Newsletter a few days ago. Love that budget section. Well, I appreciate you, Tom. Thank you so much.
Go, Aaron.
What?
Go, Aaron. Good job with the.
Thank you. Yeah, I hope you enjoy. Put a lot of effort into it, and I'm glad that Daily Slab readers are enjoying it. Don't forget, slabstacks.com. You can sign up for the Daily Slab whenever you so choose.
What was the Spider-Man card at?
It's like $100, maybe. It's gone now.
Let me see that.
It was like a custom card though. It wasn't like
Yeah, it was like auto authenticated.
right. Like this as well. But this is actually a real card. 1990 Topps. Maggie Simpson. I love The Simpsons.
I've never watched it.
What?
I've seen clips, but
Wait. Well, the real question is, have you seen the Simpsons movie? Because to be completely honest, I have not seen many Simpsons episodes, like TV episodes.
There's a Simpsons movie.
Dude, the Simpsons movie is actually goated. Like, this is a highly rated movie. I'm not even joking.
I just know the Simpsons is the one where they predict everything, right?
Yeah, but bro, 8.7 on IMDb, 91% Google users, and 85% Rotten Tomatoes. Like, normally when you get those like animated TV shows that turn into movies, they kind of flop, you know?
Yeah, because wasn't there a SpongeBob movie at some point?
Yeah, which was kind of fun for those that love SpongeBob. The Goofy Goober and stuff is pretty funny. But my point is that Simpsons movie is actually a really, really good movie. I like that a lot.
When did that come out?
I want to say like 2009 or something like that.
Yeah. Way back when.
Actually, I made a mistake reading off those stats. The Simpsons movie is 87% Rotten Tomatoes and 7.3 on IMDb. I was looking at the TV show.
Oh, it's still not bad. I thought you were going to say like, it got a 4 out of 10.
No. It's still pretty high. It's actually the Rotten Tomatoes on the movie is higher than the TV show. But release date was 2007.
Got it.
Great.
We got to pick up. Trey said got a 2017 Adrenaline Messi with him doing the jersey celebration.
Very nice. Is awesome. Jersey celebration, obviously one of the goated sellies in the world. And now the Belling goal celebration.
Oh my gosh, the amount of clips I've seen of that with like I think it's a possum, is it, or what kind of?
No, dude, that thing's like a anteater. It's like an aardvark or something like that. Like
yeah, where it's like that. I've seen so many clips where it's like belly goal.
It's so funny.
It's amazing stuff like that. Like I love stuff like that blows up, and like the announcer like didn't intend for that. Like he's probably like, oh my what I've said is all over the internet. Belly goal. I just love how there's multiple videos of whatever that animal is. Always just like whenever there's something around it, it stands up and like puts its arm up.
Yeah, it's so funny. I think that like wasn't that video like the thing was actually like running and then just sticks its arms out.
I've seen so many that I don't know which one you're talking about, but I've seen so many where there's either like a different creature or like a person like walking towards it.
The Fortnite building creation.
Yeah. It's hilarious.
Just too funny. It's too funny. All right, so I think that there still is like 90. No, there's actually less than 96 cards left. I'm going to drop in the chat the giveaway. Make sure that you join up with this giveaway. You just put a number 1 into the chat to be eligible to win, and I'm hoping that I choose that one right. I'm hoping I choose someone right that wins this giveaway. There will be 3 winners in the end, but of course, Julian and I can only pick one person to get number 1. And if you're wondering the order of how the giveaways will be doled out, I got nothing. No, I'm just kidding. It is going to be, I just need to find the order of like the prices. I think that, okay, basically in memory, it's the quad patch, and that's a Josiah Gray, and then it's the NBA City of Luka. So first, quad patch, second, Josiah Gray, third is the Luka Doncic. So excited for the giveaway. Yeah, I hope you all enjoy. We do not have much time left in the auction. Those cards are ending every single minute now. So be sure to check out those that are ending, and be sure to get that number 1 in the chat because you only have until 10:05 p.m. Central Time, which is in like the next 2 minutes. Trying to get to... I need to see how many cards are left. Are we almost to the end here?
I think we're close.
All right, I gotta start to... Oh, wow. There's only 24 left, Julian, so get ready to make your selection like right now.
I'm going to choose this 2005 Ryko Gold Star. It's $875.
I'm going with the Jorge Posada PSA 10 Pop 1 rookie from Kroger. Love it.
Kroger. There's it. It's the one on the left.
Yeah, the Raikou.
Raikou.
And 1 more minute to join that giveaway. Make sure you get those numbers in fast.
Come on.
Bengals are back, bro. I cannot believe that this is the second season in a row now
that they start terrible and they just want to give everybody else a chance.
I traded for Joe Burrow at the perfect time. He just went 30 for 43, 316 yards and 2 touchdowns. Game isn't even done yet.
Dude.
Good trade.
Good trade. Oh, yours got extended.
Oh,
dude, I'm so bad at this.
Are you done?
Not yet, but it's looking like it.
It's looking like it. All right. Giveaway is almost.
But I'm sure I won't get to 100 episodes appearing and won't get it at least once.
Thanks, buddy.
No.
Ha. You got cooked. Another week, another fail.
Whoa.
Just kidding. All right. Where's that Jorge? There you go. Oh, it's already extended. Already extended. I'm trying to get together these giveaway names in case you're wondering. If you weren't wondering, then never mind. All right, I got 1/20 chance to pick this. It's got to happen tonight. Come on. This one's wild.
I was thinking about picking that one.
You got a pro wrestling ticket where Andre the Giant defeats Inoki Inaki. That's pretty crazy. It's pretty crazy.
Andre the Giant.
What do you think, Julian? I think that Upper Deck bringing back a set to try to replicate.
Yeah.
They're trying to replicate old cards that were popular, like the Platinum Portraits. The old inserts were super huge. This just looks so bad.
Certain things it's kind of like, I'll make the perfect analogy. It's like remaking Home Alone or remaking like all these like insanely good movies. And it's like, it went well there. Just because it went well at one point doesn't mean it's automatically going to translate to being good now. If you run out of ideas, don't just automatically go to like an old thing.
Brother, the design in the front of the car is way too jumbled. Like, what is up with the letters behind his head? Like,
you can't even like, the L doesn't even look like it's part of it.
No.
Ebron James.
Ebro. Posada is still moving on. That's right. I think I'm gonna run this giveaway right now. As we wait for this next window. So good luck, everyone. I gotta do this, man. 3 times, you know the rules here.
Everyone's like, don't choose me, Aaron.
I'm going with Ken D. Ken D, I'm sorry. I probably just condemned you to not winning. Remember, there's 3 winners though.
But we're just guessing like for the first one or like
right. We're guessing for the first one.
Okay. I'll go 6 Trey Padberg.
Tony.
Wow, it's a big dub night for
Tony goes top. Tanya Montero goes second, and Rohit goes third. So congratulations to the 3 of you on winning some giveaways here on the Slapstack Sunday stream.
What did you say?
I said Ken D, who ended at number 8.
Okay.
You were 13, so sorry, buddy.
Hey, who's gotten this? Who's guessed it before?
I totally should have guessed Tony, bro. He had a good sale. I knew that he was on fire. At least the Posada might. Oh no, Posada's still going. It is still going. Platinum Portraits of MJ did 25, or not Platinum Portraits, excuse me. Platinum Medallion did 25 grand. You got the Hobby Box. Oh my. I remember, I can't believe that did 18.6. I'm pretty sure back right when COVID.
Sorry.
Right when COVID hit and stuff, I was looking at buying one of these boxes to do like a break with.
Wow.
Well, we were doing like quite a bit of like vintage I'm not calling this vintage, excuse me. Older release basketball boxes. And at the time, yeah, I was about to get flamed for that. At the time, This was like a $10,000 box. I think it's at 18.6 now. Crazy.
Buy it and rip it.
No.
Rip, rip, rip.
There's no chance that would ever happen. I think that I'm a little too good at picking the cards here.
I think there's some shady stuff going on here, like Michigan and college football. What's going on? You got someone in another. You got someone in another room bidding up these cards.
No, that would never happen.
You can rig the system for this. You can't rig the system for the random. I'm too smart.
I don't rig systems. I just pick the good cards. Pick the Jorge. Do you know why? You look, pop one. Of course, people want to get that and battle it out until the end. I don't choose a Pokemon.
No, I think something's going on here. Something suspicious.
No. Just a beast. Just a beast.
Nah, it's more impressive what I do than you do.
You've got the hey, there's Suicune. I mean, you could have picked Suicune, but you didn't. But just I did. You're welcome, Tony.
I only want winners.
Every time I feel like this episode's getting extended because I'm picking the cards that are going till the end. Julian, how's your fantasy football team looking, by the way? What's the record?
So I am second in the league. I am 5-3. Okay. It was looking good this week as if I was going to pull it off. I had a trade last week with the number one guy in my league, and I gave up. It's a legacy league, so I gave up Isaiah Pacheco for a third round, his third round draft pick, which I think I did pretty well on. And Pacheco only had 6 points, so I was like, I'm feeling real confident about myself. I'm real positive about this week. And then a couple of my guys dropped absolute duds. Metcalf finished with 6 points, but it didn't help. ETN didn't have a game, so that's like my main guy.
Yeah.
Kittle didn't have a game either. So it could be worse. I just don't want to finish last because we have a punishment in our league, and we have some bad punishments. And the guy from last year's punishment still has to do his, and I'm looking forward to that one. How's your looking? Because I know you decided to shake it up because you're just smoking everybody in your league.
So here's what's hilarious. Shockingly, my big moves included trading for DJ Moore, Cooper Kupp, and Bijan Robinson. Okay, they combined for 16 points today. The three of them.
I hope your team is just so bad now because you're messing around.
I traded away CeeDee Lamb, who's been amazing these last 3 weeks, Alvin Kamara, and Derrick Henry, and then some other guys too. I've scored the most points in the league since the trades.
You have?
Yeah, bro. I've lost one of the 4 games, and I've scored.
Wait, how with those guys?
Because I traded for Joe Burrow, who's just popped off.
Yeah.
I traded for Ramondre Stevenson and Jahmyr Gibbs also in those deals, who have also played super well.
Gibbs.
And I picked up Jake Ferguson, who scored 22. And I also got Jalen Waddle, who's played super well other than this week. So, by the way, I officially won.
Did you?
Yeah.
Dude, what? Wait.
That's a dub. I'll take it. It wasn't guessing the right card at the random at the end.
Suspicious.
I'll take it.
This is suspicious.
No, it's not. It's called. Sorry.
He's hired someone.
It's called being a beast. That's what it's called.
No, it's
sorry,
not.
sir. Sorry, sir. You just got to pick better cards.
Get a life, son.
All right, everyone. We're going to leave it here with the dub. And I hope everyone had a good night. I hope everyone enjoys the giveaways who won them. And if you did not win, make sure to come back for another Slap Sack Sundays episode because there's always some fun giveaways going through there. And Julian, appreciate you coming on. Everyone, thanks for coming.
Try next week, make it back to Milwaukee.
Yeah, I will. Next week, same place, same time, 9:45 p.m. Eastern time. Slap Sack Sundays here on the Slap Sacks YouTube channel. See you, everyone.